Hi, Lauren. I wanted to leave you some feedback on essay four. So, most importantly, I have to say, great work. This is working really, really well. I think this is an excellent example of critical analysis. Um, it's purpose driven, it's clear, you are making specific points about the essay and interpreting them through your own lens that also connects back to your thesis, while offering critique. And it's working really, really well. So let's kind of go through some of your paragraphs here. So you provide really good context with your summary here, and I feel like throughout the semester, when I've picked at you a little bit, I've picked at you. I know that picked isn't the right word, perhaps. A lot of my feedback, we'll say it that way, has focused on your introductions and something kind of missing there. I really like your movement in this paragraph. Like I can clearly see you pivoting from a broad summary to beginning to funnel down into making a statement. Here is her audience, and then beginning to form a good claim. I really appreciate the movement in here, and I always, well, let me say this. You and I have talked about, I think the last time you and I spoke face to face, I kind of shared my frustrations with the 5 paragraph essay. And so a lot of times when I look at thesis statements with points, they don't quite work. And it's usually because they kind of need one more sentence to round everything off. And it's like you intuitively knew that because after your thesis with points, you broadened the discussion back out slightly to bring all these points together to your overarching claim. So I would say that this is a thesis statement with points that is very effective, and I'm happy to see it. The only thing that I might ask you to consider is the use of others, right? Because it's so vague. So you might think about how you could rephrase really who Tan is referring to. And I would argue that she's, either as I would say that she's talking about immigrant culture or non-native speakers of English. And so others is just a little bit broad. And another way to even interpret that is like the idea of othering, right? So Tan's mother was othered based on her ability to others' misconceptions of her language use. And so you might consider that word choice in there as well. But I mean, these are really minor points, but it's just something to maybe edit for in the future. That idea of repetition, particularly repetition of kind of vague ideas. What you've done a really nice job with is, with each of your points, you clearly contextualize them. So one of the things that I really like is you present a clear summary of what is going on in the scene that you are getting ready to analyze, right? And so when I was reading this at first, I'm like, yeah, this is a really good summary, but when is she going to make her analytical point? And then boom, like you do it right after that. And I really appreciated the fact that like you didn't just assume that I was going to know what area of the text that you were writing about. You took the time to create that context for me, and it was really good. And hooray for brackets! I'm so glad to see you using them. And I love your critique here. It's so good. This is a really good example of analysis. You're doing the same thing here, where you're building clear context, and then making your analytical point. And I think that one of the things that I like about your critique here at the end is, you know, since you don't, you know, you don't have Tan sitting next to you, um, um, explaining her choices as a writer, you know, you're trying to point out the weaknesses, but while at the same time give the writer the benefit of the doubt. And that is, I think it represents you as a thinker and a writer in a really positive way. Um, so this is great. It's a good essay. I have very little negative things to say about it, and I'm so pleased that this was your final submission for the semester. All right, Lauren, thank you.